When Anna and Bernard acquired their new home, the old barn at the back of the property wasn't something Anna welcomed. To her husband Bernard, however, it was a haven of peace, where the chirping of birds and the rustling of trees replaced the constant noise of the city. It was a place where they could lay down roots, build a life, and perhaps expand their family in the future. The barn, hidden under the shadows of tall trees at the back of the yard, was filled with forgotten remnants left behind by previous residents. Old, broken furniture, rusty tools, and dusty gardening supplies had accumulated there over the years. Anna saw the neglected space with discontent, her expression reflecting her dissatisfaction. She failed to see its potential and proposed a drastic solution. "My love, you can hardly hammer a nail. Why do we need a workshop here? Let's demolish this old barn and turn the space into something useful," she suggested. But Bernard, with his ever-optimistic outlook, saw the barn differently. To him, it was a space brimming with potential, a place that could be transformed into something special. With a smile, he envisioned the barn as his secret refuge, a sanctuary that would later harbor a well-kept secret, only to be revealed after his tragic death. Years later, Anna and Bernard clung tightly to each other, tears in their eyes as they watched firefighters battle the fierce flames that consumed their house, their sanctuary of 10 years. The fire, which had started due to an electrical fault, rapidly escalated into a torrent of destruction, swallowing all the precious memories they had created over the years. In a frantic moment of adrenaline, they managed to grab only a few essential keepsakes before fleeing the overwhelming flames. Anna, her hands trembling, held their wedding album. A symbol of the beginning of their journey together, each page a testament to their love and the promises they made. Bernard clutched a folder of important documents, a small but significant part of their life that could still be salvaged. Though they were grateful that no one had been seriously injured, Anna was heartbroken over the loss of one particular item, a china cabinet that had belonged to her beloved grandmother. For Anna, the cabinet was more than just a piece of furniture. It was a cherished heirloom filled with childhood memories of visiting her grandmother's house. The cabinet had proudly displayed a collection of glasses and goblets that seemed to sparkle like diamonds. Her grandmother, a simple woman, reserved these glasses for special occasions, but always made an exception for Anna. Allowing her to choose a glass from that cabinet was a unique demonstration of love, and those moments were a comforting refuge in Anna's heart. Now, as Anna looked at the remains of their home, a deep sadness overcame her for the loss of the china cabinet and the memories it contained. The fire had destroyed something irreplaceable, but Anna and Bernard knew they had to start anew. They saw this unexpected turn of events as an opportunity to shape their future differently. They decided it was time to seek a quieter place, far from the hustle and bustle of the city. They dreamed of finding a retreat where they could leave behind the stress of urban life, a place where their beloved dog, Fred, could run freely, and where the children they hoped to have one day could grow. After an extensive search, Anna and Bernard finally found the perfect home. It was a house with simple architecture, but undeniable charm, set on a vast piece of land with a generous lawn in both the front and back. The neighborhood was quiet and friendly, filled with families who shared similar values and aspirations, just what they had been searching for. The property was a peaceful haven where the sound of birds and the whisper of trees replaced the constant noise of the city. It was an environment where they could put down roots, build a life, and perhaps expand their family in the future. At the back of the yard, hidden under the shadows of the trees, stood an old barn, crammed with countless relics left behind by previous residents. Broken furniture, rusty tools, and gardening materials had accumulated over the years. Anna didn't view that forgotten corner of the yard favorably, and her expression reflected discontent. She couldn't see the potential of the space and proposed a drastic solution. "My love, you can barely hammer a nail. Why do we need a workshop here? Let's demolish this old barn and turn the space into something useful." But Bernard, with his optimistic outlook, saw the barn differently. He believed the space could be transformed into something special. With a confident smile, he responded, "Anna, after I finish organizing everything, you won't recognize this place. I can learn to handle tools and turn this barn into an organized storage area, maybe even a workshop for small projects. Let's give it a chance." Somewhat reluctantly, Anna agreed to Bernard's idea of transforming the old barn into a usable space. As the days went by in their new house, they began to appreciate the slower pace of life it offered. In the spacious backyard, they cultivated a small garden, providing an array of possibilities for growing teas, vegetables, and fresh herbs. Bernard was fortunate to work remotely most of the time, with only a few days a week required at the company office, allowing him to fully enjoy the serenity of their new environment. Anna, a language teacher, also taught her classes online a few days a week. Bernard would often set aside time to work on the barn, discarding many of the accumulated old items. However, Anna noticed that Bernard was also investing in new equipment, acquiring tools and utensils that seemed beyond what was necessary. "Why all these new tools, Bernard?" Anna asked curiously. He would smile and deflect with a mysterious air. "Just a few new tools, my dear. You never know when we might need them." Her surprise grew when a small shipment of wood arrived one day. Bernard explained, "I'm building some shelves to better organize things here, Anna. This will help us keep everything in order and make it easier when we need something." Anna was willing to help Bernard organize the barn, but he always refused. "Anna, the place is still very dirty and cluttered. Just the other day, I even saw a rat running around. Once it's cleaner and more organized, you can come in and help me." Anna had a deep fear of rats, and the idea of entering a place where those rodents might be present was out of the question for her. 3 years had passed since the couple moved into the new house, and time seemed to have strengthened their love and commitment even more. That Friday, they were celebrating their wedding anniversary, a special day deserving of an intimate and meaningful celebration. Bernard took on the responsibility of preparing a special dinner, while Anna would take care of the dessert, adding her personal touch to make the evening even more memorable. That day, Bernard had gone to work at the office, but his mind was focused on the evening ahead. He anxiously counted the minutes until he could go back home and reunite with his beloved wife, eager to share a special surprise he had prepared. At 5:30 in the afternoon, Bernard gathered his things at the office with an excited smile on his face, ready to go back home and celebrate their wedding anniversary with Anna. He left the office, got on his motorcycle, and began his journey back home. The couple's house was a bit away from the city center, which meant Bernard had to cover a few kilometers to get there. As he drove, an unexpected rain began to fall, turning the streets into a slippery challenge. Eager to get home and share the special night with his wife, Bernard didn't anticipate that an unforeseen incident could abruptly end his journey. The rain made the road treacherous, and visibility was rapidly decreasing. Bernard was focused on keeping control of his motorcycle amidst the slippery track. Each kilometer felt like an eternity, his anxiety mingling with worry as he made his way home. Fate, however, had other plans. That night would forever change Bernard and Anna's lives, twisting their love story in a way they could never have predicted. Instead of the romantic dinner she had eagerly awaited, Anna received a phone call that shattered her world. The voice on the other end of the line brought the worst possible news. An accident had taken the life of her beloved Bernard. In that moment, Anna's world collapsed. The plans they had made together, the future they had envisioned, all vanished in an instant. After Bernard's painful burial, Anna returned to the house alone. Her thoughts were consumed by an immense void, and the silence of the house now felt oppressive. That silence was suddenly interrupted by the insistent sound of the doorbell. Confused and still immersed in her grief, Anna opened the door to find a delivery in Bernard's name. It was a box containing a set of crystal glasses, something beautiful and delicate that left her perplexed. She couldn't understand why her husband would have made such a purchase before his tragic death. The gesture seemed like an enigma, a mystery left by Bernard. As she held the glasses in her hands, a wave of emotion enveloped her. She knew there was more to discover. Her mind turned to the barn, a place Bernard had kept her away from for so long. With her heart racing and filled with expectation, Anna opened the heavy barn doors, expecting to find the dirty and disorganized space Bernard had described. What her eyes found left her utterly speechless. The barn had undergone an incredible transformation. Instead of chaos, it was now an organized and well-equipped workshop and studio. The tools were meticulously arranged on shelves, each in its place. As Anna entered the barn, she was astonished to see sketches of projects spread across the workbenches, woodworking magazines carefully stacked, and everything in perfect order. At the back of the barn, something caught her eye, something that left her completely surprised and emotional. A china cabinet, identical to the one she had owned and lost in the fire. Her husband, who had never shown any interest or skill in manual work, had learned the art of woodworking and had built, with his own hands, a replica of the beloved china cabinet she had lost. Tears of emotion began to stream down Anna's face as she absorbed the magnitude of Bernard's gesture. He had done this in secret, driven by love. Anna's heart filled with a mixture of emotions. She remembered Bernard's words on the day of the accident, when he mentioned that he had a special gift for her. The china cabinet, now standing in the barn, not only brought back precious memories of her childhood with her grandmother, but it had also become a powerful symbol of her husband's deep love. Anna realized that the china cabinet was much more than a material object. It was a testament to love and affection. It reminded her of the joy she felt as a child when her grandmother would allow her to use those special glasses, showing her love and appreciation. And now, it stood as a symbol of Bernard's enduring love, his willingness to learn a complex skill just to surprise her and show how much he cared. She understood that gestures, whether grand or simple, carry profound meaning when motivated by love. It's these love-driven acts that endure in our memories and hearts. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 10 to let us know how much you liked it. Also, check out the video currently on your screen. See you soon.